with Mr. Trump, the second innings, the pitch has deteriorated considerably. There was total receptivity and engagement. I cannot tell you how pleased we were when we left. The obvious thing is that Mr. Trump is unpredictable, that he has to put it bluntly, an extremely unusual style amongst the world's history of heads of government. The obvious thing is that Mr. Trump is unpredictable, that he has to put it bluntly, an extremely unusual style amongst the world's history of heads of governments. I don't think we've seen anything quite like this. His negotiating style is itself a challenge, and the combination of a certain lack of diplomatic tact and a certain, shall we say, a certain willingness to do things that nobody else in his position would have thought of doing or saying has stung us. And what's worrying is that there seems to be a willingness to just discard offhand a quarter of a century of very serious, dedicated, devoted strategic engagement with India, which involved also persuading India that there were a certain set of assumptions in Washington that New Delhi should be happy with. And suddenly that whole thing has been tossed aside, and it's a bit of a shock. At every level except Mr. Trump. I saw Vice President Vance, I saw the entire establishment, such as it was, of the State Department. I saw the members of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and the House Foreign Relations Committee. I met every single think tank. I spoke at the Council on Foreign Relations. I met the media. I spoke at the National Press Club. I don't think there was much left. And throughout, I can assure you, we got a tremendous amount of positive response.
Did you pick up anything of this sort going?
Not at all. On the contrary, we got an absolutely positive level of engagement at every level in the United States. Understanding of our position, sympathy for us on Pahalgam, support for what we had done. I can tell you the Vice President actually said, we respect the restraint and responsibility you have shown. Once I'd explained the manner in which the operation had been conducted, there was total receptivity and engagement. I cannot tell you how pleased we were when we left with the quality of our meetings at all levels of the United States. And so this was a shock. That was a bit of a puzzle. First of all, I don't think there's any precedent for a military officer who is not a head of state or government to be received by the president in the White House. So that's a completely unprecedented action. And the fact that it was done with so much warmth and bonhomie was also surprising. I can tell you frankly that on this particular thing, there's obviously a personal element in what Mr. Trump is saying and doing that we'll have to reckon with. The American system does give an enormous amount of latitude to the personal tastes, foibles, and whims of the man in the office. I mean, the assumption has always been that the system will throw up people who are so seasoned by the process of politics that they will be moderate and measured and responsible in every utterance and every decision. We don't seem to have that right now. You've seen the way in which Mr. Trump spoke to Mr. Zelensky in the White House the first time. He was a little better off this time, but he had a rough time the first time he went. You've seen the way in which some of those NATO meetings and meetings with the European leaders have gone. We're in a very, very different sort of diplomatic world at the moment with Mr. Trump.